Hello everybody, it's me, the Hero Teacher, and I welcome you all on my channel. And in this video, I'm going to tell you how I scored 9 in listening in the IELTS test. Well, everybody thinks it's kind of impossible to get the highest score, 9, in any section of the IELTS test, but it's not true. If you work hard, if you are determined, and you've got motivation, it's always possible. I'd like to start with a few steps that I personally took during my preparation and how they helped me achieve that band score. Obviously, everything starts with listening comprehension. IELTS is a test of language awareness, which means in the listening part, obviously, your listening skills are going to be tested, particularly listening comprehension, which means they try to see if you can understand the English language in various situations. To improve this, you need to improve your listening in a variety of situations. You need to listen to podcasts, obviously in academic context. You need to listen to documentaries or watch documentaries or watch things that actually draw your attention and are in academic context. If you're kind of like wasting your time with very general materials, such as TV shows that are for like B1 level, or a comedy show that does not actually involve a lot of academic speaking, it's not going to help you with the IELTS test. What you need to do is to improve your listening comprehension in academic context with all those complex grammatical structures and academic vocabulary. Other than that, it's also important to focus on fast English, which means your mind, your brain needs to be able to decode information at a faster rate. Like if it takes you a little bit longer to understand the given context, that's not going to work in IELTS. So you need to be a little bit quick in mind to understand what's being said, because you're not given extra time to write down the answers to the answer sheet or basically on computer. After developing your listening comprehension, what you need to do is to understand strategies, actually study them for each question type. There are very famous question types in IELTS listening so that you can learn them. For example, not completion, multiple choice questions, choosing from the list, matching, again, not completion in section 4. There are like a few question types that you can easily learn the strategies for, and then you can start practicing these strategies. Because if you combine your good listening comprehension skills with the strategies that you have studied, obviously practice is not going to be that difficult for you. But practicing can be done in many ways. For example, you can do question-based practicing, which means you can practice only the same question type again and again until you become very good at it. You can do multiple choice questions like 100 times so that you have no weaknesses in this particular question type. Or you can do section-based practicing, which is section 1 only, section 2 only, section 3 only, or section 4 only. This is also a useful tactic that I use. Like, I remember I was a little bit bad at listening section 3 because it was academic conversation taking place primarily between two people, and I had difficulty understanding their fast English. I mean, this is where many candidates struggle. However, by doing, multiple section 3s only, I realized that yes, I was getting better at that, and eventually it contributed greatly to my overall score. And once you're done with, sectional practice, I call it sectional practice or question-based practice, it is time to focus on full tests. Because without doing full tests, you're not going to be able to understand how the exam works and how your mind can take it. Because it's taken around like 35 minutes or 35-ish minutes to complete the full listening test. And if you only focus on like sectional practice, like you only do section 1s, which roughly takes around 7 minutes, then your mind will be used to only doing listening for 7 minutes. However, if you push you to your limit, like 35 full listening test, you'll see that, okay, if you are making mistakes based on your based on like energy level, or it is a strategic mistake you're making, or it is just comprehension mistake. Like there can be many mistakes, so you don't have to judge yourself based on your mistakes. You just need to understand the origin of it. Because like if you're tired and you are trying to do a full test, obviously you're going to lose your focus, therefore making more mistakes. Or if it is because of the strategic part, or something that is related to the strategy you are using, then you need to revise the strategy that you studied for that particular question type. Or it could be just because of the comprehension. You didn't understand what the recording was saying. So understanding the origin of your mistake will help you become better. This is what I call learning from your mistakes. If you don't learn from your mistakes, it's going to be bad for you. Like sometimes I know some candidates who do full listening tests, and their result is like 37 correct answers, which is perfect, 8.5, but they still have 3 mistakes. If you don't analyze those 3 mistakes, then you're not learning from your mistakes. You're not learning from your tests, and you kind of leave that blind spots just to be with you. So you need to go after those blind spots, find out what the mistake is and why you made that particular mistake. Try to redo it or re-listen to the recording so that you can decode that particular sort of information, and it's going to be easy. Like learning from your mistake is an absolute must. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck with the result that you've got. Like 8.5 can sound the perfect score, which is actually true. But if you're stuck with like 6 or 6.5, that means you're not making progress. You're not learning from your mistakes, and you're going to keep making the same question types. You're gonna keep making the same mistakes and the same question types, which is bad. And final point, what kept me going on? Well, what keeps me going on will also keep you going on, which means you need to work hard, do not lose your motivation, learn from your mistakes, and finally enjoy the process. After all, you're preparing for an exam that teaches you to be a better communicator in this particular language. Why not to enjoy it? Why not to enjoy the process? Why not to take pleasure in it, right? So if you don't enjoy what you're doing, like I'm not a native in English, right? My IELTS is 8.5 overall with 9 in listening, right? And I just loved it, like loved the process, like how enjoyable it was for me to develop myself, develop my listening, develop my reading, develop my writing, develop my speaking. This is all part of the process, and if you enjoy it, you're gonna be better at that. So that's my guarantee to you, that if you work really hard for your skills in this particular language, things are going to be brilliant. And finally, if you think this video has even slightly encouraged you to work harder, please subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends. Like share this video with your friends. Working is nice, and I encourage you guys to work harder and to achieve that goal. Thank you very much, and see you in my next videos. Bye bye.